the Lou. I'm Brennan, joined with Sean and Mason as always. Um, I don't think there's a lot to talk about from like the past weekend. Do you guys think about the
No, I
Cardinals?
don't think anything happened.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Oh, you know
That's
what?
one
That's the
change.
big thing.
That
Yeah,
yeah,
that happened this weekend.
we're now using a different streaming service, so hopefully connection's better. Um, but yeah, it's Riverside that we have this.
Powered by Riverside FM.
But no, it was a big weekend. Obviously powered by.
Powered by
That's
Riverside
okay. It's last time, I
FM.
promise. It was a big weekend by the Cardinals winning the series against the Cubs, and Joshua Baez historic debut, hitting 3 home runs in his first three at bats. Since then, we're recording this on Tuesday night. He has not recorded a hit since then. He had an RBI today though, with a sacrifice fly. But no hits. But still, I don't think that takes away what he did on Saturday's game. And I just want to get your guys' reactions to what you guys thought about that performance, and what you kind of expect for him moving forward.
For me and my expectations is from what we talked about over the weekend in Washington play is that first off, to have that debut and for it to be Cards Cubs is just storybook shit right there. Like you can't deny that at all. And to have 3 homers off 3 at bats, phenomenal shit. Now, from whenever we do talk about him, I'll continue to express that my biggest concern is I don't want to see him become another big swing and miss, hyper criticized because of being that, and then see him lose confidence, and then we have Gorm 2.0. That's been my biggest concern, but he's still he's still tracking way better than Gorm ever did and whatnot.
Oh yeah, he's
Already.
hitting the ball hard, and
Yeah.
I don't think his at bats look overmatched either. Like Gorman, when he's bad, like he looks lost up there. Like when
Yeah.
he's, I mean, you could have like 3 pitch strikeouts, and he's like wailing at everything, just trying to make something happen. I mean, Baez is going to have the swing and miss aspect to him, but he's not supposed to be the best hitter on this team. We'll get into who the best hitter on this team is right now, but I think with Baez, he's someone that if when the top four of your lineup, JJ, Avon, Burley, and Walker get on, he's the one that can potentially drive them all in. Now, is that going to happen every time? As we've seen, I think he's like 0 for 18 now, technically.
Right.
Or with the sack fly, he might be 0 for 17. Because I think he only had 3 at bats today. I'm not 100% on that, but
So
I'll
you think
have
his
that pulled
strength
up.
is just to get RBIs?
Oh yeah, and hit the ball out and clutch moments. Because I think that's the kind of player he is. He's always going to drive the ball. I mean, his hard hit percentage is insane. I think through the minor leagues we talked about on Friday, he was slugging over 500 on the year, and he had 38 home runs, and he's gonna go through spells when you look at the AAA stats, he was having times where he was not hitting and having kind of situations what we're seeing right now from these last few games. And then there's times where he goes on a 2 week heater where he hits for a month it'll end up with 10 home runs in a month. It just depends on the timing of where they are in the season, and if it happens as down the stretch through September, and if they make the playoffs, then that's a very valuable bet that I don't think
Right.
Gorman would have ever produced.
Baez also has am I correct in saying that he's can also be kind of sneaky speed and whatnot?
He can. I didn't realize this. I think I'm gonna pull up his steals from AAA, but I believe he actually had over I want to say I might be over exaggerating here, but around 20 steals on the year.
Right.
I'll check on that though.
While you're checking on that, I wonder if that basically then just kind of writes off the end of the line with Victor Scott.
Oh, Victor Scott's been gone.
Oh, I know he's been gone, but even
He's
more
gone
now.
forever. He's gone. He is. I don't care anything about Victor Scott. I haven't, to be honest. I don't watch AAA baseball. I follow it, but I have not heard his name brought up at all. Like,
Well, that was
nothing.
his biggest selling point too, is that he had the speed and whatnot whenever he was up with the Cardinals for a while. But now, like, with how much this like roster turnover rate has been and whatnot, of like who has been able to stick with it and whatnot, it just like he's just one of those casualties of that, about not being able to just hang with the bigs and whatnot.
So Baez had 21 stolen bases this year in AAA. Last year, he had 54.
Jesus.
That's insane. I did not think he had that many stolen bases. I didn't think he was like running that much. I mean, I was thinking about Baez a little more, and I can't remember who I saw say it. It was either a tweet or a video I watched, so I apologize. I can't credit you because I think this is a very, very good comparison. I think Baez has this name might be scary, but I think he might be what Tyler O'Neill was supposed to be.
Oh,
A
God.
jacked right field, like right-handed bat, who has speed, good defense, and can slug. Now, Baez has not had as many injury concerns through his career as O'Neill has, and I think that's what's hurt O'Neill the most is just he was so jacked to where he had like no flexibility and everything. Like he would pull hamstrings like fucking pulling string cheese. It felt like like it was ridiculous on the amount of like injuries he had. But I think that's a really good like modern comparison of who he could turn into. And if you remember from 2021, Tyler O'Neill was by far and beyond like the best player on the team. And if we
Right.
have that and it's more consistent without the injuries, then that's a pretty special player. So,
But even just before we go into the series and kind of put a period on this topic and whatnot, it's really satisfying to look at the ages of this core coming up. It's the same feelings that I get with the Blues whenever I look at this, of just looking at JJ Weatherholt, Mason Wynn, Joshua Baez, fucking Jordan Walker. Like,
Burley's the oldest guy on the team.
Yeah.
Like one of the oldest position players, and he's not even old. I think he's 28, 27, 28.
Yeah, somewhere around there and whatnot. He's only 4 years older than the four names that I just listed. Like,
and then there's more coming. Like that's like we talked, like when Mason was here, we talked about the farm system a lot. The more that's coming, it's just like all these players, they're all so young and they all have such high upside and they have so much payroll flexibility to whenever they like going into 2027 or especially 2028, they have so much money to fill these holes and they can get, I mean, they could go and get like, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but they can afford a Tarek Skubal right now. Technically, they could for how much payroll flexibility they have. And if the salary floor comes into play, which is what the owners are projecting around 170 million as the floor, the Cardinals are at like 40 million right now in their total payroll for their team. So you're talking adding over 100 million payroll just on an annual basis for multiple players. You could easily get like top talent in the free agent market.
right.
So yeah, it's set up really well. But to kind of go a little bit into this Red series, we had the doubleheader, 1-1, kind of a really good pitched game. Quinn Matthews made his second start, and that was he pitched well. He held the Reds in check. We kind of saw like what we would probably expect from him, which he has trouble at times locating. He walks a lot of guys, and I think he ended up walking like 3 or 4 guys on that first game. But he went 5 innings, gave them a chance, and handed it to the bullpen, who shut it down, which the bullpen's been very good overall until that second game, where they had all the opportunities in the world to win that game, and then they blew it in the 9th inning, where the Reds hit a game-tying home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and they left Ali left Straczynski into the game. And I put out a tweet on Behind the Lou official page that's getting a lot of traction, where I blamed Ali Marmol. And first of all, I wanted to say that was somewhat joking. I don't think it was really that big of a deal. However, I do think that the way they managed the bullpen, not just game 2, but between those games. Like, I think you had, I think they used like every arm, and the only arm left was Justin Brule. And I feel that it could have been managed a little better. I mean, it's kind of hindsight, so I'm not like pissed about it, but I made that joke, and that tweet kind of blew up for the wrong reason a little
Yeah,
bit.
but also to that
It got
point
some
too.
people's support, so some people loved it. Some people
Well,
hated
a
it.
lot
Some
of people love
hated it.
blaming a manager in any sport.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, followed up with that, of just the question of simply like, how many times can you say that Ollie's costed the Cardinals a win or like a series win in these kind of instances and whatnot?
And not many. I mean, I would say I don't think Ollie's really blown that many games. I think he's going to be manager of the year, um, for sure, at the end of the season, just for what he's done with this roster that was projected to lose by a lot of people's like metrics, lose around like 100 games, and then the more favorable expectations were around maybe like 78 wins, or just exactly 500 was pretty favorable.
Right.
I mean, they could still end up there. I don't think you're gonna be really far below 500 unless it's a complete collapse, especially with the remaining schedule that we have. But um, I think at worst case, I think we end up like maybe at 500 or a game or two below. But I think that kind of goes into my next topic, which I wanted to talk about with the postseason expectations, because I put out a poll on the on our Twitter asking our followers and just uh, people who saw a tweet what if they believe that the Cardinals would make the playoffs. And I thought these results were kind of interesting. So there were 63 votes in total. Mace, if I were to tell you what that split would look like, do you think it'd be more favorable that fans would think we would make the playoffs, or no? And then after that, Sean, you could say if you believe they're going to or not.
So I think anyone that's not riding off of the Baez hype should know that we're probably not going to make it. But you did post that after this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And the bats were getting hot. I don't know the stat, but it seemed like we were scoring like 4 points a game, which was impressive. Seemed like a turnaround.
Points, you motherfucker.
For
runs,
a field goal, and a 1 point conversion, and then, so that was exciting. So I feel like people online tend to get lost in the sauce, and I think 52% said that we're gonna make it.
But you don't think they're going to?
I voted no. I already have
Sean?
a pessimistic view, and also like
I
haven't seen enough from this team.
They're gonna make it, but I don't think it's gonna be a long run. Like it'll just be something. It'll be an in and out.
But you think they're gonna make it? That's what this question wasn't. What their expectations into the playoffs were, where how far they go, just if they make it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make it. Just like full on based on that.
How many great opponents do we still have left?
So right now,
this team loves to fucking lose against bad teams and win against.
We have a lot of bad matchups coming up. Like we play this weekend's a big series against the Phillies in Philadelphia, who you're competing with in the wild card, and then you come home and play the Orioles, and then after that we stay at home and play Pittsburgh, and then we go to LA. And then you have the Rockies, the Giants, the White Sox, the Giants. The Giants are awful. They're the worst team in baseball. The Nationals, Pirates, and then you end the season with the Brewers. All those teams are not playoff contenders other than the White Sox and the Dodgers. And I guess you can say the Orioles now because for how bad the American League is, they're technically in it, but they should not be a playoff team at all. So, and then you have the Brewers to end it off, like end the season, like the last series, and they're not going to be playing their best guys because they're going to be resting for the playoffs. So I think they make it because right now they're 2.5 games back. San Diego holds that last wild card spot, and they were losing 4-1 Now no, they were winning. They're winning 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th. So they're probably going to be 3 games up if they hold out for that win. And then the Phillies won today as well. So, um, and then the Diamondbacks have that whole situation. They're like the other team above us. They are dealing with Ketel Marte not showing up to the stadium, which
Yeah,
that's been a whole weird thing.
That's still super funny to me. Just like,
Yeah, that guy should
yeah, I'm
not
not
be on
doing
the
it.
team.
Well, before we kind of going off before we go back to that poll. There was a thing with about Ketel Marte where he just didn't show up. They put him on the restricted list, which when you're on the restricted list, you don't get paid. Like the player does not get paid. It's kind of like what we talked about with Harrison Bader. He's on the restricted list.
Well, because he's breaking his contract, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
He's literally not doing his job.
no, and so he didn't show up. And this happened last year with him. He actually didn't show up to a game against the Cardinals in Busch Stadium. He just didn't
And
show up.
I think you told me that they don't know where he's at either. So is he
So
just
they
like
didn't
on a
know.
bender in Cancun or something?
Yeah, they didn't know where he was at. They think he traveled with the team. No one can confirm. But then they said he's not hurt physically, and it's nothing going on with
Emotionally,
his
though.
family. But yeah, we don't know. But then so it's like, okay, so he's not hurt. There's nothing wrong with his family, so everything seems fine there. But then they're like the way these players are asked about it and the way their managers asked about it, it just seems very hush hush. And then a report came out that he's going back to Arizona to get an MRI on his knee after they said he was physically fine. So it's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that situation. I think I don't know if he just got like wrapped up in something bad, but back to the Cardinals and the reaction if they're going to make the playoffs or not. 49.2% said yes. 50.8 said no.
So it's pretty
With
close.
63 votes. Yeah, it's very split.
People think like me. Nice to meet y'all.
Mason knows ball. Brennan, you know fucking shit.
Well, the thing
No,
is, I think they're gonna make it only because their schedule's so much easier. They're heating up. Alec Burleson is on a complete monster tear.
Yeah, that dude's fucking playing like something to prove right now.
I don't even know. Like, I'm so glad they didn't end up trading him. In the last 15 games, he is slugging 764. He has 6 home runs, 21 RBIs. I think he's up to I think he leads the league in doubles too.
Double
I'm gonna try to.
cheeseburgers.
I mean, he is
Burley.
burly, but no, he is just on an absolute tear right now. I know he's at the top, around the top in RBIs as well. Him and Walker. And then he has a 133 WRC plus. He has a on base percentage of 355, so he's still getting on base while slugging. And like I said, he's like this last couple weeks, he has just been on another level. He's just trying to prove that we were right not to trade him.
Yeah, honestly, he really is.
Because he wants to stay. From what I've heard, it seems like he does not want to leave St. Louis. And I think in the offseason, he's the guy that you really should talk about extending, because he would be a perfect veteran bat to leave in your lineup, especially with guys like Baez and Walker and Herrera and soon Raniel Rodriguez and Jesus Baez and Double A, like all these like right-handed bats. Getting Burleson in there like long term, who's a left-handed bat and he can slug the shit out of the ball, not just hit home runs but hit doubles and still play a really good defensive first base, like solid enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you can't really ask for much more than that, because there's not really another first baseman in the system that I think would really be could replace him, unless you go like Rodriguez or Herrera, which is like, why even do that when you can have all of them on your team?
Yeah.
So
I do like a guy who knows how to slug his balls.
Yeah, he loves the slug. 764 slugging on the last 15 games. That's insane.
No, again, the team's playing. It's still impressive how they're playing. It still works out well. Again, the bottom line of any sports and conversation that we're going to do is winning changes the perspective a lot. And to put it plain and simple, Cardinals just got to keep winning. Like there's no other way around it. You can't drop games that you should be winning. You got to just keep going forward with this right now.
Yeah, this Red Series you need to win. Since you lost that second doubleheader game, I think they won tonight. I think you need to win. Like you just like to win the rest of the series. You need to win tomorrow and Wednesday. You need to.
Phil, when do they come back to St. Louis?
Because
they're on a long road trip right now. Yeah.
Yeah, because they play in Philly this weekend.
I'm a little worried about the road trip, but I think if they come back to St. Louis, they're gonna have new life.
I mean, their road trip's been good so far against the Cubs and Reds. I mean, they at least split.
I do see them doing better for the rest of the season, doing better at home. But I think this team needs big moments for them to capitalize on winning games and stuff. Because they're a bunch of young guys. Like that locker room's not exciting. They kind of just like someone's got to figure it out. And I think with the Baez stuff happening, I hope they capitalize on it.
I wouldn't say it's big
because it's less of Baez performing well, but I hope the team advances on like that moment that happened. I think they did. Walker started coming out of his shell again. Burleson,
he had a really good game on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think it's the Baez effect right now. Not that it's always going to be that way, but if they can like stay on the hype train that everyone, all this energy that Cardinals fans and players are feeling right now, that's going to be the way to make it to the postseason.
Mason Wynn had 3 extra base hits today with a home run and 2 doubles, which he's been struggling all year.
Well, and his throws are getting really good.
Oh, his defense has always been good. He's the best defensive shortstop I can remember on this team, like since I've been alive. I think he's probably the best defensive shortstop since Ozzie Smith. I don't think it's really close.
Well, I was gonna say the one thing that I'll kind of battle back on with you, Mason, on that it's not about the big moments anymore. It's about the consistency and proving that they are who they are instead of just a one.
Yeah, but I don't see that consistency from this team this year. That's what I'm saying. Like, this team can be there, and then I'll be on Marmol to like get the guys in the right mindset because it's there. I just see them really capitalize on it when exciting things happen, which are like a bunch of young guys do. It's like seeing, a hot chick at the gym.
Whenever you're at
Soulard, you like work out harder.
Yeah, you're in Soulard
and you're performing better.
You get the 5 deep in your 5 Jack and Coke, and you look to your left, and there's the smoking hot blonde. You're like, damn, I gotta perform now.
Yeah, or the 5 Jack and Cokes. You're like, man, I don't remember her being that hot.
Yeah.
But now she is. And now I'm going to go up to her. Yeah. And that's what all these young players are doing. Like, man, I didn't think this team was that good. And then they're all drunk on Baez energy and like,
yeah,
you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot.
Baez.
They're drunk on Baez juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, his juice. He needs some of it because, again, he's been 0 for like 17. But, again, he's hitting the ball hard. I'm not worried about him. He's going to be fine. But, like, again, I don't even think he's a big prospect and he's big for this team, and he could be a game changer. But I don't think this team needs to rely on him for them to make the playoffs. It's not all on him. And I think that's good for Baez to be able to keep developing. And I think as long as they just stay in the race, even if they don't make the playoffs, just these young guys having the experience of like a meaningful September baseball. I mean, it's been since 2022 since we've had any sort of meaningful baseball this late in the season. It's been that long. And I think the city needs it. And I think for sure these players need it just, to have that confidence and like learn from, like I said, if they don't even make it, they can learn from the mistakes that they make, and just continue to get better as the years go on because they're going to be here for a long time. So, the last thing I wanted to go over was that I just forgot about Busch Stadium, like because Mason brought up how they need to play better at home, and I think some of it's out of their control for right now because Busch Stadium is now officially, in regards of home runs this season at that stadium, the worst in baseball. It like they've only had 65 home runs this season at Busch Stadium, and not just us, just in general.
That's how many home runs we've seen.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
ever
it
since
doesn't seem
Ballpark
like a
Village
lot of
got built.
fireworks have been going off this year.
Yeah, ever since Ballpark Village was built, it just seems like all like the wind just does not carry the balls out anymore. They just die like
Yeah,
on
is
the
that what you
warning
think it is?
track.
Do you think it's like the infrastructure?
I think
Because
it
it's not
is
really
because
the field length, right?
no, this I think the walls of they've always been more pitcher friendly, but ever since they built Ballpark Village, and especially ever since they built that giant tower of apartments, it's been god awful. I don't know why they did that. I think those apartments look ugly. I think they ruined the skyline
I
of
don't
the
know.
stadium.
I feel fine with it.
I don't like it. I don't like if you look before when you could see like the courthouse, and you could see like the arch is still pretty clear, but like just seeing the full downtown picture, I think just this giant
Yeah,
ugly
seeing the Hooters.
tower. Seeing the what?
Hooters from
Yeah, whenever I can see
Florida.
over there. Yeah.
The abandoned Hooters now.
Is it abandoned?
Yeah, they closed, I think. Oh no. I think the Hooters is still open. I know the Cybergs over there closed. And there was a
Is there
Carl's
one
Jr.
downtown?
over there.
Is
What?
there
There's
Cyber's
still one
downtown?
Yeah.
There was one.
I
It's
thought there was.
closed. I know
Are you
that's
talking about
100%.
that one next to City Park? That's the only one I know.
I thought there was one more near Busch Stadium.
There might have been. I'm not sure.
Because I know the downtown location closed. I saw like them put out a whole thing about it. Like, but no, back to like the stadium though. So there's been talks that they're going to do massive renovations to the stadium. Which after going to like many different stadiums, like I've been to Wrigley, I've been to American Family in Milwaukee, PNC in Pittsburgh, and Cleveland just this past weekend. There needs to be renovations done to Busch Stadium. Like, it's a
Why you
great
say that?
stadium. I think the worst thing about it is the sound system at Busch Stadium is god awful. I think it's like that for just not even just for games, but even like concerts. I think the sound is just really bad because even like I know it's an outdoor stadium, so it's not gonna have like the same sound as like Enterprise does, or like the Dome even, which I know the Dome sounds nothing to write home about either. But Busch, I feel like really like it just doesn't have as much like amenities and like especially like more on like on field presentation as it probably could have. I think they've done better this year with like the engagement with fans in between innings than they have in the past. But I think they really need to. I think they need to upgrade the sound system, upgrade the video boards, and also I think in addition to that, adjust the outfield walls to bring them in even though like that could still hurt us because we can allow more home runs. I think a more baseball is entertaining when players are hitting balls out of the stadium or just into the seats. It's just that's what makes it more entertaining. I like most casual fans don't want to see Victor Scott drop down a bunt. Most fans they like
You're gonna piss
doubles
off all the old heads.
and they don't want to go see fly balls that end up at the track. Like no one wants to see that. I'm tired of it. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It happened in 2022 with Nolan Arenado where I think it was like 27 out of like all 30 stadiums. It would have been a home run in that game. And it could have swayed if we won that first game of that Phillies series in 2022. Yeah, bring the walls in. I'm all for it. If it causes Matthew Liberatore to give up more home runs, I'm fine with it. If it means Alec Burleson gets
So you
more
think
home
we
runs,
should build a new stadium?
no, I think we should bring walls in.
So Brennan's suggesting that we tear down everything at Busch and move it somewhere else.
LA.
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree with that of like just bringing the walls in closer though. And as in regards to like everything in Busch, like full transparency of like me, like who I am as a sports fan, I've only ever been like, Blues person going to Enterprise whenever. And it was until 2021, 22, whenever I actually started going to games and whatnot. And the entertainment of it all and the general vibe is it's a little on the older side. I will
It's
admit,
20 years old.
yeah, on the skyline point of view that you're hammering on and whatnot, like the more I look at it, it's also losing a big part of it now with the Millennium Hotel being brought down and whatnot, so you get the arch more exposed. But that big building for the apartments and whatnot is just this big glossy window thing. And the thing that's going to replace the Millennium Hotel is by the same builders, so you see another big glossy thing over there. So it's going to be
beautiful building.
It's going to make
It
you
looks
feel like
good.
it's going to make you feel like you're going into the future with all the windows we're having on our buildings.
That's kind of like what they present when they do those mock-ups.
Yeah,
those renderings. They're always futuristic looking.
So I saw this. This was from Brandon Kiley with 101 ESPN. If Alec Burleson hit all of his home runs, like the entire season, with how many, like this is including like this entire season, if he hit every game at Busch Stadium, he would have 19 home runs, which I believe he is at like 20 something. Let me double check. He is at 21 home runs. So if every game was at Busch Stadium, he'd have 19. If it was at Dodger Stadium, he'd have 30. If it was at Citizens Bank Park, it'd be 32. If it was Kauffman, he'd be at 30. And Great American Ballpark, it'd be 29. So we're talking like a 10 home run difference where he plays 50% of his games at that stadium. That is holding his home runs back.
And what's the length of the wall? Was it 400?
So center field's 400. I don't know the exact dimensions like on every side.
What the fuck? You're the guy that's supposed to know all this. I'm just kidding.
So I got it right here. Left field, like far left is 336. Left center's 375. 400 in center, 375 in right, and right center, and 335 in right field. Which, I mean, if you look at like, I think Dodger Stadium, I think that's like a pretty fair dimension just from like fan perspective of just games I've watched. Right. Dodger Stadium's 330, 330. I cannot talk. 330 feet down both lines, 385 to left center, and then 395 to straightaway center. So just straight center field. So it's like we're talking about matters of like 10 feet bringing them in, and it would change the game, like change the way Busch plays drastically.
Will they be able to install 2 more rows of seats? Because I feel like at the end of the day, that's going to be their big.
Just add more bullpens.
Yeah,
I think just add more standing room. I mean, look how successful like the Budweiser Terrace is.
Standing room that low though.
Imagine like how cool that would be. Like a little like bar area where it's like general admission. You go move tarps off there.
They should put like go-karts out there or like a trampoline park or something.
I think they need a hot tub.
Yeah. Arizona has a pool.
Or there should be like an aviary where there's a bunch of cardinal birds in there, and you like smash the aviary and everyone gets chicken wings.
If they hit a bird, you get free wings.
Jack in the Box, yeah.
We're on to something.
Kill a bird.
If you kill a bird
in the aviary.
Although
no cat comes out, fucks up all the birds.
Real quick, I'm looking at some of the first like images from whenever they built Busch Stadium and whatnot before like Ballpark Village and the apartments and whatnot. I didn't realize that was just like full blown a parking lot before then, and I'm just picturing now. But no, I'm just picturing now like they probably built all that because they got tired of all the fucking like insurance claims. Be like, yeah, we went to the ball game, my fucking window got destroyed.
Well, I think Ballpark Village itself is fine. Like where the advertisements are, like all that section, that looks cool. I think it adds to the outfield because it's not like really tall buildings. It's not like obscuring the view. Right. It was when they built that giant tower is when I think that's what I think is attributing to. Like I think when they built Ballpark Village itself, I think it definitely lowered the offensive numbers, but that giant skyscraper did not help whatsoever. I don't believe. Because I don't remember a time where it just feels like every home run or every like fly ball that's like it looks gone, like the way it sounds off the bat, the exit velocity being like 105, and it just goes right to like the track of like right center field or left center field. Right. Like those are the areas that I would bring in the most. Like right and left, I think are fine, but like those like dead center, or like right center and like left center are the ones that I would want to bring in more for sure.
I think they should replace the baseballs with like clods of mud. And it's like shoots shrapnel whenever you hit it.
What are you talking
And
about?
then someone from the dugout like throws the ball, and someone in the outfield has to see where it goes.
Isn't that a thing though? With
But you have to make it to
baseballs?
second
This
base,
is
or
what.
else you can't get on.
Oh man, can you imagine Mason and CBA talks?
Yeah.
Just bring, yeah, make the balls
Yeah.
mud.
What are the balls were mud? They do that
What if
though.
the balls
They
were
cover it in
mud?
mud, don't they?
They do have.
That's not mud.
I might be. I don't know exactly, but they do like have to like make it dirty somehow. I think. I'm
Like
not
some maple
100%,
syrup.
but I think I've heard that before, where they have to like grime it in like dirt
Yeah.
or something, like some kind of mud.
Or like mung or something.
Mung.
Some like belly mung. Something from like
Yeah.
a pregnant woman's stomach.
No.
Yes, I just looked it up.
No.
It is.
No, Major League Baseball still rubs baseball with mud. It's been a
Powered by
thing
Riverside FM.
It's been done since the 1930s.
It's still legal.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Brennan, do you have any more comments, concerns on the
How you feel
Cardinals
about-
going forward?
Ivan Herrera getting his throw out for his first
Oh yeah,
time in
that
2
he
years.
threw out Ellie De La Cruz or Ellie De La Snooze. Dude's
And if he
He's
ever goes
so
on that
overrated.
drinking bench, he'll be Aladea Booze.
Oh my god.
that was lame. But he did throw out his first runner since 2024. I was happy. And then he goes up to bat like right after, because that was like the third out, and he was the first batter up and hits a home run right after. So good for
Rockstar
Ivan.
shit. Yeah.
That was a weird. That's a weird. It's so weird how he's just never thrown a runner out since 2024.
Yeah, I know. Everyone was like all happy about it, and I was like, "Wait, is this supposed to be impressive, or is it just like breaking a curse?"
It broke his
Yes.
curse. Yeah.
He could
So
be
he's thrown
both.
people out since then.
No.
So the
Yeah,
just
at
started
least
again.
go
The
back,
curse,
yeah.
the curse countdown started again.
It's similar to like whenever the Blues would get like for the longest time be on a 5-on-3 and they just could never fucking score, and it would like reach like a 2-year mark to where they just never scored on a 5-on-3. That would always piss me off so bad.
But no, I'm good with the Cardinals for now. But the last thing I want to say, like just in general, is I know we got a lot of new like followers on Twitter and new subscribers from the recent Baez video. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and like. We do videos weekly regarding all St. Louis sports and other St. Louis topics. So stay
Cardinals
tuned for
heavy
more.
right now.
Yeah, for the Cardinals season. But we're gonna cover Blues. We're gonna cover Battlehawks.
I can
And
bring
just
up
a
one
bunch-
Blues thing if you want to close out this episode, and I can make it under 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm good with Cardinals stuff. So let it roll.
Mason, you want to hear this?
Blues stuff.
Some Blues. So recently, because we know you've been talking about on the Cardinals pipeline and just prospects and everybody coming up, they did the same thing for the St. Louis Blues and ranked them on where they're at prospect wise and who they're looking forward to. Like, I think it's players under the age of 22 or 23 and whatnot. Any guesses of where the Blues are ranked before I start?
Like,
this?
in like youth, like age, like average age.
They're
young.
Like they have, well, not in age, but more of just like how their pipeline ranking is and whatnot.
Oh, like
who they
farm
have.
ranking.
Yeah,
I would say like top 10, probably. They had a really good draft.
I'd say top 3.
Corey Pronman of The Athletic has ranked the Blues at number 7. And
I was right.
Congrats. But what's been really interesting for that is from last year's ranking, they were number 16. So they're doing the right things. I think the emergence of Jimmy Snuggerud has shot them up a lot more now. But what I find very interesting and what we'll have to keep an eye on for next year and during this training camp that's coming up, behind Jimmy Snuggerud, they have listed defenseman Adam Juracek. I don't know if you guys have, or even if I've told you guys about him and whatnot. He was at the 2024 NHL draft at 16th overall. He has a brother who's playing, I think, right now in Philadelphia, also a defenseman and whatnot. But I find it interesting that they have him ranked at number 2 over Dalibor Dvorsky already. And Dalibor Dvorsky has, like, as a center, has a handful of games already played from last year. And for them to put him above him, I wonder if they're really pushing that, and or if he's really pushing for that point of like, yeah, I'm making this Blues team next year, regardless of who's on it, because I'm ready to do it. Because it's just super impressive to see that everyone's ranking him above Dvorsky. Like, Dvorsky had a great year last year, and what's even like more interesting to see now is who we got from this past draft in Tynan Lawrence. They have him at number 4, right behind Dvorsky. Like, these writers and the way that they're like viewing them, they are holding them to very high regard, which is something I don't think the Blues have had since the like Tarasenko Schwartz draft or the Eller Perron.
High on Dvorsky.
Yeah. Like, it's very, very interesting to like see this. And
what's their highlight about him? Why are they bonerific on him?
On Dvorsky or for Jiricek?
Dvorsky.
Well, I think it's because they're high on him because they see him being that number 2 center at his top line. They see him being a future Mason McTavish for this team that could then replace him or even move him to the wing and whatnot. The problems that they're realizing from like just analyzing him is that he does have a problem with like inconsistencies at times. He's still a talented offensive player and can do these high-end breaking out points. Like, he was just in the World Juniors and I think he played for the Olympics maybe and whatnot. So like on the international stage, he's still held up in high regard and whatnot. But I think what people are also forgetting is that he's still young and hasn't like fully developed his like man body. And
when you talk about inconsistency and young in the same sentence, it's like there's plenty of upside from there. It just takes repetition and doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's why these athletes do this. So I wouldn't worry about consistency of him performing every game.
Again, and I think because they've had a bigger sample size with him being in the NHL too, they're seeing like there probably is a claim to be made that it is overanalyzing because they comment on his skating not being the best and that he struggles in getting on the inside, in part due to like the lack of burst because he doesn't have the skating that he has and whatnot, like the speed burst that you see from like what you would see from Jordan Kyrou or even from Connor McDavid and whatnot, of being able to just get that next gear and just go down the ice and whatnot. But I just found it very interesting to see the Blues at such a high ranking for this draft pool and whatnot, and to see Jiricek above Dvorsky. Like, if Jiricek makes this team, it's going to really disrupt a lot of like defensive pairings to where like you could even see like Cam Fowler fall out of the lineup too, which is going to be very, very fascinating to like just keep an eye on with training camp starting up soon.
When does training camp start up?
I don't even know when hockey boots back up.
Training camp stuff starts back up. I think it's September, like early September, because in mid-September is whenever preseason starts, because they're starting earlier now because they're doing the 84 games now.
Up from what?
From 82. So they're doing basically kind of what the NFL did of like taking away 2 preseason games and doing 2 more regular season games.
I think that's good. I think more hockey is better.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same amount of hockey. It's just more games that mean.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like more regular season hockey.
Well, and I think it gives more chances for records to be broken too. Like, just a side note of it all is like we're going to be probably seeing the last year of like bigger names in Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, Evgeny Malkin, and all these players finally like take that step back and whatnot. Like, these guys are about to be 40. Well, Malkin being 40, I think Ovechkin's going to be 41 going into this next year. And if he can make it to 950 goals, I think that tops out at the end of it. Like, he's already number 1 in goal scoring, like in the NHL, regardless, even over Wayne Gretzky, because we saw that from last year.
Is he doing the LeBron thing where he wants to just break everything? since he can?
I don't know. It's a really weird thing because everyone thought last year was going to be his final year, but in that he was just going to go back to Russia and just kind of collect checks and whatnot.
Go back to Russia.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
What all his friends say.
It's very funny because he's super controversial on his Putin takes. But hey, if my family was being held up against their will in Russia, I'd be like, yeah, that guy's awesome. Sure.
You know who they need to be powered by?
Who do they need to be powered by?
Powered by Riverside FM.
You're right. Anyways,
This is gonna be my favorite thing going.
We're not even sponsored by it. We can't make any money off
I
it.
know. I don't even
Bullshit.
care.
They're making money off of us.
I don't care. I think it's that audio is fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie though. I am just one quick last final note with just the hockey talk is I'm gonna be very excited to watch the Washington Capitals play this upcoming year. This top six is fucking diabolical. Like, it is crazy to me to see this. Like, Ovechkin, Dylan Strome, Jordan Kyrou, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Alex Tuch, and then Anthony Beauvillier. Like, they're so stacked. It's stupid. Right? But that wraps it up for me.
Should we touch on City real quick?
We can. I mean, I don't have all my tabs because I lost them, but we can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just to give City their flowers because we don't.
Because they
talk
are
about
kicking
them
ass.
too often.
Yes. I'm so happy. You know what? We should talk about City because they are making fans out of me. They're making fans this year. It is so cool to see.
Well, they're a gritty team because they shouldn't even. To me, they shouldn't even be in the conversation with everything they've been dealt and all the movements they've had. It's kind of like how the Blues were, I think, last year, right? Was it last year or the year before, where they had no reason, like, even going into the postseason?
Yeah, it was I think not last year, but the year before.
The year before.
That was the one where they lost in the final seconds against Winnipeg.
Yeah, that horrible, horrible game.
And it could possibly happen again with the Cardinals. So everyone's just kind of being underdogs in St. Louis right now.
Yeah, we might.
Besides the Battlehawks.
And the common theme is everyone's shut up. You
just pissed him off.
I had to do it.
You said chokers, and there's a man that died.
No.
Oh god.
We had a death in the family, and you're joking about choking.
That's funny.
Oh god, I know what the short's gonna be.
That fucking team is cursed. We've had 2 deaths in a year.
And Brennan's just making jokes here.
Back on City before we talk about death.
Yeah.
People die from choking.
Literally.
I would never.
Dustin May almost died by choking on salad.
That's true.
Choking on, yeah, he probably the parasite in there.
No, he just choked on salad. He tore his esophagus and
he tore his esophagus by eating salad.
Eating salad, yeah. He's been he's had so many injury problems. We had so many injury problems, and then he was finally healthy, and then he goes in the IL again. They're like, "Why? Oh, I almost died eating salad."
That's like a Tinder bio thing for sure.
Anyways, back to City. Talking about like just the bad hands that they've been dealt. I mean, going to last week, we had to see the transfer of midfielder Marcel Hartel. He went back to side Hanover 96, playing. I think that's his hometown.
Different language.
Yeah, that.
But
in return to that,
mid-season was carrying a lot of weight, so that's kind of tough to see him go. But he was definitely a St. Louis guy. The little video package he did with the video team on the way out was really pretty, and that's someone you always root for. I almost wonder, based on his wording, it sounds like he's almost leaving the door open too for the future. I don't know how young he is, but
I think he is 30.
Oh well, then maybe not. Well, no, old ass foos playing the MLS all the time.
I mean, we've seen
and
it.
all the MLS haters will say it's the retirement league, but I totally think that's me just reading into it too much.
Yeah.
I would not put any chips down for that.
You know what's crazy is they also have roster categories and they have him listed as senior.
Oh yeah, that's brutal. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of like 36-year-olds too though, and he wasn't playing bad, but it's probably
Yeah.
not worth it. It's probably just total throw it throw it off and let it be because he went home for some family stuff. He should probably stay over there anyway. Because I mean, if you're gonna make that move, settle down your life over there. He
Well, I
doesn't need
mean,
to come
yeah,
back
I
to
think
St. Louis.
that's such an element of like player lifestyle. I don't think a lot of people understand is these are people, they're not from the US. Like they're international, like regardless, like even in like hockey or in this case with MLS being the bigger extent of it, these people are moving a whole fucking ocean across to come play here and stuff.
Yeah. To play for a league that doesn't even make crazy money.
Yeah, because talking about money, funny enough, a great segue to set this up is
this their Pink Floyd part of the chat?
no,
Okay.
was with Marcel Hartel leaving, the city acquired the Danish attacker in Carlo Holtz.
Yes, he's the
And-
new guy.
Yeah,
I don't know if he played Saturday or Sunday, whenever it was.
let
In
me
the
check.
3-1 win, I think, over San Jose. A great game by Betcher.
Yeah, he's only played the one game. Yeah, it was against San Jose. He was in that game.
He did he play the whole time or was he a sub? Do you know?
I think he was a sub. Yeah,
Sub.
appearance sub. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they gave him some time to come in, and then and we were kind of in command of that game too. Another great showing by City.
Yeah.
Which is again why we're trying to give them their flowers because they're really turning it on.
10 games.
Yeah.
10 games.
I surprised the boys. I was looking at the past schedule and you had to take into account the World Cup. So it's like it's got an asterisk next to it, but you have to go back to May 3rd, the last time St. Louis City lost a game. There's some ties in there, but they've gotten points from every game they played.
And the standings are getting really, really close now too. Because I think they're only 1 point behind Austin. I don't think it might have been Austin. I don't remember.
Because I know they're 2.5 above the line right now, so they're in the playoffs.
Yes, it is. No, Dallas. Sorry, they're a point behind Dallas and then 4 points behind San Jose. So that game was huge for them to win on because they're gaining ground now on teams.
But there's still plenty of games left.
Yeah,
like we'll see.
In Brennan's mind, there's like 32 million games.
Yeah.
No,
matches. Sorry.
It just gets like with how many for it being like once a week, it just feels like the season goes so long. So just again because it seems like it goes like multiple seasons of like the year.
Well, now they're about to do the confusing thing where they like switching it to the winter or something. But I know what you're saying, Brennan, because like it feels like it's a long season.
It's not many matches, but it's just a lot of
the matches. I don't think the matches are the problem. I get really excited whenever they do the weeks where they're like they have a Saturday game and then they have like a Wednesday game.
Yeah,
like I like when they do awesome. That. That's the best because I'm like
you can be locked in on them.
Yeah,
because I think with games, I think football is the only sport that can really pull off like once a week, just because it's like its own spectacle and it's like just during the fall and winter, and then like even then the NFL season's like pretty much like once it gets to like Thanksgiving, you kind of already know like what the playoff picture looks like, and then like December hits and you're making placements and your trade deadlines pass. Like it just moves fast, and I think that's where I get thrown off by it with like MLS is just how. It starts in like March, doesn't it? Like February, March.
It's like late February, March, I think.
Yeah, and then it goes to like October.
It also does that shit that the NBA I think does, where they have like in-season tournaments. So like I think they do
that a lot. So they
do like the Gold Cup and like things like that, and they'll like kind of play for other shit, and it's like
that's dumb. Get rid of that.
When sports do that, I'm like. Maybe go have like your B team do that or something. But I'm like, focus on your main trophy.
I love what like NHL does, and like what they did with the World Cup was cool. But like when they do like the what's it called, Sean?
So what they did,
like I forget what it's called. Like when
they called it the Four Nations.
Four Nations, yeah.
Four Nations is cool. Awesome.
That was really cool to see, and I think
is it the same thing as the Frozen Four?
No, the Frozen Four is the NCAA stuff.
Okay.
But no, for the Four Nations, I hope they expand that again and do it yearly to replace the All-Star games, because the players don't give a fuck about it at the end of the day. Like, and if you're gonna make an All-Star game, you want actual All-Stars there. But then when you see like Nikita Kucherov doesn't give a fuck if he gets fined and goes out partying in whatever city that he has to represent the team in, and then he gives a half-ass effort for the game. It's just like, what? Why? Like, come on. I know you don't care to be here, but we're paying you to represent this game and to sell it to everyone that you're one of the best of the best. So I hope that they do more in round tournaments, and honestly in more sports. Like,
Bro.
I kind of wish they did this something like that too, to like earn the first overall pick.
Yes, I was about to go there. I think every freaking sport should have, like, I've heard a lot of people fantasize about this. Me, one of them, is that instead of the fucking Pro Bowl, you have the two bottom worst teams play for the first overall draft pick on Pro Bowl.
That'd be pretty sick in Pro Bowl.
Well, like for football, like that would be, there would be everything to play for, and then you put money on the line too. Like the players are obviously going to make more of a paycheck, and then they don't have to go that hard, but like it would be more interesting. Like they actually have something to play for.
Well, I think like, I mean, MLB is like the only sport I think that can really still do an All-Star game, like, well, because like they have the All-Star game and like the home run derby and things like that. I think that's like even though it's still like an All-Star game, it can be kind of boring. It's still like, I think overall, like between all the different leagues, like NBA and like especially NFL with their Pro Bowl, it's like it's embarrassingly bad.
The skills games are fun though. Like I think in all these sports, the skills games, like seeing these guys be talented and play like arcade shit's fun. But
yeah,
I don't think that's that fun.
Just by the way, just as an example too, for our point of like,
I'm not talking about dodgeball either. I'm talking about like the throwing ones.
Having like bottom teams play for like a #1 pick. If we were to use the NFL as the example, imagine like the season wraps up or whatever, and then you're seeing the worst football, but there's something worth it, of Jets versus Browns, Titans versus Raiders, and whoever wins that then goes to the next week against those two, and then you play against like the AFC, NFC. So then you're seeing Giants versus Lions, Saints versus Cardinals, and then honestly, out of all that, if we were to use last year as the example, Lions would have fucking won the first overall pick right away.
I think
because then that could make it even more interesting if like if a team's targeting a certain like college player in the draft, and then they're like both of these teams are like fighting for this quarterback because they both need a quarterback, so they just throw out some like fucking seasoned vet who's like the tail end of his career fighting for their future.
No.
And then these fan bases can clown them.
The one,
like Joe Flacco,
the only Joe Flacco. Broncos legend.
I fucking hate that guy. He did not give a shit about Denver. He went there to get a paycheck, and then he was okay fucking playing good for every other team.
Yeah, for the
can you imagine like Joe Flacco like that versus team. Aaron Rodgers in a and like that, like that, like for the first round pick, like, you know how crazy that could be.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That'd be so funny.
I think there should be like a NFL Royal Rumble. Because you know, Royal Rumble and WWE, like you pay for like a trip to WrestleMania or like a match in WrestleMania.
Yeah, you punch your ticket in. Yeah,
the 30 other teams report to one field, and then everyone has to like take turns trying to score on another team. It's like King of the Hill.
No, I want it to be like an actual Royal Rumble where they just send in their safeties.
They have to fight.
Well, they're fucking like centers, and they're like, go get them.
Yeah, they put their like biggest dude in a ring. Yeah, that's Super Bowl. That'd be better than Kendrick.
We've been rambling for a minute.
Anyways, to wrap up this point and to finish up
Riverside FM
and to finish with St. Louis City, give me their flowers. There's 16 games left. Tomorrow is the game against Kansas City, where we go across I-70 and beat the fuck out of them. And then this weekend they go against Houston, which will be a great game for them to try and catch up. Also, Dallas is next weekend. So the games coming up are important. And like we keep saying, you got to win. Winning does a lot.
They're staying consistent. They got to stay hot because there's too many games
every team, both City and Cardinals, stay hot.
You can't go cold at this point. This is the stretch.
I know
I think City has more of a excuse, but the Cardinals can't go cold for sure.
I know the weather's getting cold, but you can't.
It is not fucking cold.
I don't know. It dropped 10 degrees.
My balls are sweating right now.
Put a fan on them.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, just don't get them stuck in there.
But no.
Powered by Riverside FM.
That'll wrap it up. Make sure you leave your thoughts and comments below about everything we talked about regarding the Cardinals, the city, and the little bit of Blues talk that Sean did. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll be back next week for another episode powered by.
Powered by Riverside FM.